What's the best Martin guitar you can buy? I don't know. It's hard to say. But what I can tell you is the Martin Custom Shop Sinker Mahogany D18 is the single best guitar I've ever played in my life. Without question. I played Collings, Bourgeois, Santa Cruz, doesn't matter. This Martin Sinker Mahogany is the guitar that grabbed my heart and never let go. Let's check it out. The story behind this guitar is I owned an HD28 and a Gibson G45, and I liked both of them. I wasn't really digging the G45, but I walked into my store locally here and I saw this one on the wall in their acoustic room, and I didn't really know much about the Sinker. I picked it up, I started playing it, and after the first G chord, which is the chord that we all play first, there was something about it that just wouldn't let me go. And I normally would play and noodle around for 10 or 15 minutes and then keep going and move on to the next day. But I played this guitar for 45 minutes. And I just couldn't put it down. And it was used. A guy that worked at the store had bought it when it came in and ended up, he's an electric player, so he traded it back for a really high-end electric guitar. And so it was like 50% off of what the original MSRP price was. And so basically I went to the counter and I said, hey, if I trade in the HD28 and the G45, can we get really close to even? And the answer was yes. This thing is just spectacular. It's like driving a Ferrari. Now, I've never driven a Ferrari, but playing this guitar is like what I would imagine driving a Ferrari would be like. And that's like the feeling that it gives me when I strum it and when I play it. It's just so perfect. Everybody that I've sent a recording to has heard this guitar. They've called and they've said, what is that guitar on the recording? And that's just with this Blue Yeti microphone that I've got. It's not like I'm using a $20,000 setup. It just sounds ridiculous. And it wasn't all that expensive by comparison. Okay, look, I know that that everything's relative, and I have some cheap guitars. I can't afford to just go out and buy what I want. That's why I'm doing this channel, because I get to play cool things that I wouldn't be able to afford. But in the grand scheme of things, this guitar is better than any Collings I've played. Now, that's relative. There's something about the sweetness of this Sinker that is just different. There's something about this one, and I think maybe it's just that we're kindred spirits, and that's why this thing is great. But I'm telling you, this guitar will be here for the rest of my life, and I think it's the best Martin guitar that you can reasonably buy, that you could pass on. I mean, you can get a brand new one for under $4,000, which is a lot of money. I'm not saying that's not a lot of money. It is a ton of money. But when you start thinking about guitars that are in a completely different class of tone, usually you're starting at $6,500, $7,000. Collings seems to go up every year. I know 2 years ago the Waterloo stuff, you know, the entry level was $1,800 to $2,200, $2,400. Now it's like $2,900 or $3,000. Collings guitars used to be had for under $5,000 in recent memory, and now it's $5,500 to $6,000 to get one new. But this, you can find one of these for you can find a used one for less than $3,000 for sure. And I'm not saying go trade everything you've got for one of these, but I am telling you that this thing, there's a magic in here. This to me represents what Martin is known for. There's just magic in this guitar. And I wish I could just give you the magic. But anyway, I'll shut up now. Try to find one to play. It really is spectacular, and I know it's expensive. I'm not trying to diminish the price because it is an expensive instrument. But if you're trying to find that tone that you hear in your head and you can't find it, and you haven't played one of these, give it a shot. Because this, as soon as I picked it up, this was the tone. My tone search was over. Now I always want more stuff because that's how we are. We're crazy people. But my tone search ended when I found this, and I just wanted to share it with you. This is my favorite guitar. I imagine it'll be my favorite for a very long time, and I want a 000 sinker really bad. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you have a good day. Take care.